And today we're just going to start with a bit of a recap here, everything that's been happening with Bitcoin, so we can kind of get a good gauge in what we're doing. So obviously we have our backside here, polarity, always going to be +1 time frame. So we need to keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure this is what our target has been. Now, I also want to check inside this guy just to see if there's any other levels we hit. We need to really understand what level before we kind of do anything. Time frame down, just going to mark wicks on 4s here. See exactly what Bitcoin clarity there. No, nothing. A backside 4 as well. Okay. Also potentially a 4-hour level here. Okay, so we've got 4 weekly 4. In here, this is going to be important. Well, probably inside the 4 step. Not. It's actually before the 4. Okay, that's important. Now, clarity here. Really, we want to see what's been touched and not to pinpoint the time frame. Like if it hits this 15, we don't say it hit the 15, but we also understand that it can't combo that further down. And I think that's good. I think we don't really go any further. I don't know how much further below this weekly it went, so I don't want to start just wasting looking for something. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. So it's a weekly. So we're going to keep this 4. We're going to keep this 15. Those can be combo levels, but really for it to not disconnect, needed daily. And I don't have it back there. We don't. Let's just make sure we have. This might be your ladder point in the trade. This will end up being a reverse. And you've got your daily trend there as well. Okay, so you've hit a weekly. Next target is daily. Straightforward, right? You got a weekly here. Daily is next. Now we've got our daily trend. We've got daily polarity right here. So you've got a few levels, and it looks like they're all going to kind of interact with each other. Now it's happening pretty quick, so I do want to start thinking about setting up a trade. I'm not interested in this 4 yet, possibly as a reverse, but not yet. Daily first. Hit the weekly. I want to ladder off the day. So okay, let's start looking for combos inside this 4. That's really where we need to be. So we're just going to combo down every single level. This 1 hour is already tested, but that's fine. We're just comboing it down. We got quick here. We got here. Good backside 15, but I'm not really concerned. Backside, front side right there like that. 5 minute. Okay, so everything's starting to become backside, front side with all of these levels. 5 minutes here. I just want to find every single combo. That's also the 3. Okay, so that's it. That's it right there. That's just 65, 590, 65, 6. Let's go you here. Take a look at what's happening. Bitcoin. So really, like we need to target a daily level, and if we target a daily level, where can we target it? So you've got your dailies both right here. You're not really gonna deep dive much. Your hourly is about your deepest you can go. Hourly. Let's go check that out. Backside, front side, already there. So you're already gonna be testing. So you want to pay no attention to combo 15s, 5s, hourly. You simply want to start with this date. So that's really your first spot. It's very straightforward. Hit this combo daily, do your RA, run. It's not worth it. Can it go below trend? Let's start looking at origins as well. For now, I'm going to be going on that date. Yeah, 65,702, and have an order set. It's slightly. That's the first place I'm looking. I also want to make sure we don't have any kind of sneaky little origins when we got this. Here. Origin, I'm not. Well, I'm going to keep it up, but I would never use it. hourly rate here. Those of you in exclusive wondering why I'm calling these hourlies, when you have an origin level, you use it one time frame up on the touch of the origin. So that's just something we do in mentorship. Won't get into a big lesson on it. However, that's what you're hearing when I'm saying this is the hourly level. The 15-minute origin counts as hourly. So 4-hour origin counts as daily, as to why I'm saying daily trend, daily origin here. And that's not on the first test. So quickly, if this was a break level, this on the 15-minute, this is not a 15-minute origin, even though it doesn't fit the criteria. This is not a 15-minute origin. The 15-minute break level, it hits once, rejects, then it becomes an hourly level, which is the 15. Daily is next. We need to find a spot where daily can deep dive. So daily can deep dive to the 4-hour. So I think you can use this 4-hour. So I am going to have 2 trades. I want to see this 4-hour here get hit. You do have the 4-hour back here. I wouldn't set an order there. Well, before I say that, let's measure. RA 30%. That's quite a bit below trend. Maybe I actually might use this. I want to actually go and see if I missed any 4 hours. Just getting a little bit of a not so great feeling about possibly, which is here. So you can go daily, deep dive that for, deep dive that for. But yeah, you've got a lot of levels here. You've got a lot. So you aren't, I don't think you're going to dump straight down. So I do think longs are safe. There's just way too many levels here to propagate this move up. And now, so you're going to daily deep dive to this for. You would never take this for over that for the 10% because one of them is going to bounce. The only difference is this can bounce to that weekly, hit it again, create a new daily off of this. So your weekly might also be a safe play here, but you 55%. So you could take it safely. It's going to dump either way. Go down 44%. 11%. We have to make a decision if we're trading this trend or if we are, which technically is a daily. It ladders the move. You can go for the weekly, which gives you your 4-hour break. 4-hour break turns into the daily. So you can actually deep dive this weekly again. So I think there's a really good trade here to be said to create this as the daily. So kind of do something like this, hit that, come back up, reverse this as the daily, cycle your trend out to whatever this point is here. So your trend is just cycle like this. Get that out of 10 cycles there. And then you maybe have the daily. So I think that's a setup that we have to consider. So I think you have 2 plays. I think you have this right here and everything you're measuring down, it's protecting against most of it. This 4-hour being the daily deep dive, but I feel like that trend breaking there might actually just, if you do hit this and you close below trend, I feel like you have to create a weekly level to reset the daily. So if you are going to go and do something like this, where you have to go here and you're going to deep dive that target to go back up, you are going to have a really hard time getting over this trend, which just means you've hit a daily and you've hit a weekly and you've lost your daily level. At that point, you're cycling your trend out. So for that reason, I don't like this because the risk of the long is that you just go and you backside test. So you just go here and then you just backside test, dump the move down. So that's fine if you want to take that 1.5% trade, but I don't think the risk is worth it. I think the risk is worth it down. I think that's where I like my first trade. And with that said, I would like to start thinking about a short to get us there now. So we've got a 15 here holding us. I don't necessarily know if that is going to hold us. I think I haven't looked at the top side of this chart. You got a 15 here, got polarity here that hit. Got some backside higher time level. Yeah, that's the hourly. So let's start looking for the trail of what's happening. Don't believe you ever hit the 4-hour level. No, it's hourly that's holding it down. Hourly's holding it down. So 4-hour, 15-minute can offset us on. So that's actually, if this holds, this could actually be a pretty decent long. Right here. Yes, I got to start color coding properly because so the 15-minute can offset. So if this holds, you can actually offset this nicely. So I'm going to delete that one. We've already tested it. Let's Got a minute and 50 seconds for that. So when you create a 5-minute hold level, you got to get over rejection as a target, which here on the 5. If you get over top of this, you can buy that, but right now we're just holding that down. So we're actually losing that 15-minute level. We just said this 5 minutes holding it down. So let's just give that a minute while we keep. So clearly it's the hourly time frame that we're looking at. That hourly is there, that hourly is there. Got your technically you've got it here. I don't want to use origins. 4 hour there. This I do want to have. Neat. Backside. Start looking for the hourly, which is right there. Yeah, I really do think that this hourly is the play here because this is going to hit your backside 4, and you're never like you are never ever taking the 4 hour over the difference in measurement is it's not even so okay, you're actually gaining this 15. It's actually not even a 15. You do really want to see that become a 15. You don't want this to close in white. That's going to be like a red alarm for us. We definitely don't want that. We have to start thinking about shorts on the hourly. Let's 6 seconds. So if this closes in blue, I think you start thinking about considering this short on the hourly rate. I think you really start considering that short on the hourly. The only problem is that target kind of breaks your 15 down below, but you don't really have anything else you can do with that. You've hit your 15 here. You've got to gain this. Rejection as a target goes to the hourly and loses a level. I think that's your play. Yeah, I think I still think you're on the hourly short here. Hourly backside. Oh, I definitely don't like that. How these 1 minute down. That's not. So where's your 15 rejection as a target then? Because that actually might be your short. Rejection as target. Also hits this 15, goes there. That's another really good spot for a short. Where does that 1 minute line up with this? That 1 minute lines up right below it. I think you go rejection as target 15, short down to this daily. First trade that 2.5er and then that up. Yep, I like it. I like it. Just want for PB purposes, if you know what I mean with the PB. For PB purposes, I wanted Pandora's box. That broke over, broke below. And it there. Is it worth taking this 5 and trying to trigger out on this for 60%? Where's the 3 and the 1 on this? 3 is already there. The 1 is down there. The 1 is not working. 1's already. Let's 15 to 15. If it targets the hourly breaking up, then it uses the 5 to smash the hourly. Yeah, you short here. I think you short this. Because then you can trigger here, and then you can also long this. Is there a backside 1 here? You really have to get over this. This is what you're fighting. Or even possibly this. That ladder to this. Yeah, you're fighting to get over. I don't think that are that far back. And there's not. This is going to be, this holds, hits the 5. Can you take the short from the 5, trigger at the 15? I think that's a trade everybody can kind of take on their own if they want. It's 60%. The risk is a little high on it. Haven't seen the 15 hit as rejection as target yet, so we can assume the move isn't quite done. I don't know if you want to enter back on the 5. I would love to see. There's not. It just goes straight up. I would have loved to see an origin somewhere that you can target it. There's this 3 right here, but that's just a deep dive of this 5. Yeah, so there's really, I don't, had not a long is. We really got to make sure like your hourly spans all the way up to here. So I think that's worth mentioning. Hourly spans all the way up to there. You do need to gain this 15. which will also be here. So I almost wonder if you want to reduce a little risk and go here on. Want to reduce that risk, go there, pull back, and see if this 15 hold can trigger you out instead of taking this 15 front facing. No 5 minute. That also acts as a 5 minute inverse. 3. And that's a 3 minute, which is also going to be a 5 right here. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. I like the higher level up here. Oh, there's that 5 minute tested. Oh, darn. Maybe it would have been okay. Maybe some people took that. I'm not sure. I don't think that's a good trade to take though. I think that this right here is gonna hold the move back. But I don't like the 5 minute is okay, but I would rather be looking down here if I'm long. I don't like if you were gonna take another trade, you would go right here and front run this test at this level so that you can ladder the 15. I don't know if I like it though. Not gain 15. This damn, it's too bad. That might have actually been a decent trade. No, it's not worth it RA wise. Take the short there where your max target is 50%. It's not worth it. Rejection as a target 15. Okay. Okay, we got some good bearings on this. What's going on? Got exclusive questions. Oh, okay, good. Good. No questions. Oh, that's really so weird, AB. I get that same problem with Discord sometimes. It's a Discord problem. It's really frustrating. I have that happen to me sometimes when I can't connect to Discord on my computer, but on my phone I can. Yeah, and this is kind of what I was figuring. You do front run this level a little bit because you really don't want to touch this 15-minute level here. If you do, then you're just going to kind of be testing back that level. It's not something you want to do even right now, laddering the wick, which is not exactly ideal because it's still testing the level. So if I was in this long right now, I would be exiting. So if I did take this right here, I would be exiting right now. I don't want to hit that 15. I just want to clearly ladder off of it. So like if I was in this, I would have exited already. And that's a big tone of what we do in mentorship. We engineer trades all day long. And if they don't go exactly according to plan, we get out. Like, so for example, would have been out of the trade already, break even, or slightly above to cover the 1 or 2% profit. But yeah, I would not like to have been in this trade because it's just too fragile to break. And the risk that you're taking to go from here to here just isn't worth it. 38%, 50%, even here to take that kind of risk, 90% starts to be okay. But I would have been out of this trade already. I would have let it hit, and then I would have set a sell right as soon as we cross that threshold. I don't want to hit that 15. So and like this is why, because then you're just gonna have these moments where you're like, oh no, now what do I do? Do you hold and all of a sudden you're down 20%? No, you have exact outcomes. Set the trade, and if it doesn't go perfect, you get out break even. So that's the scenario here that I would have been in. Can you ever take this? No, I don't like this either. I don't like anything here. If you don't simply bounce past this and at a minimum try to attack that 15 as rejection, I have no interest in staying in this trade. Even here, 1 minute rejection as target is even going to be like a good spot to get out, because if it can't gain this 1 minute level, it straight dumps. So just always a focus on reducing risk down to 0 while exposing yourself to dozens of trades a day, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, if you can. Saying dozens of trades a day is pretty tough to get dozens of trades a day, given the landscape of the way that it works with fees and liquidation rates. But with when Chart Raiders comes out, that'll be yeah. So at this point, I'm looking down. I'm looking down here. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at two possibilities. I'm looking at this daily level to hit and hold. I have to decide if this thing can deep dive, or I'm looking at this weekly here to create a new daily on a reverse on something else. Yeah, honestly, you just start measuring your RA at these levels. Like when you come down here, if you are going to take this level, this level or some kind of backup level. I guess your backup would be here. You're going to cover everything on the white line that we have, which is just like a random front run of the level because I don't want to miss it. And if you don't hold these levels, you're just going to dump anyway. So there's not going to be a big difference of getting in here because you still got liquidated all the way down to here, there to there. So kind of the point of this trade is you're either playing all of this or you're playing this. Because if you play this level and it doesn't hold, you're liquidated all the same as if you play this level. It goes to here and holds. You're not liquidated. But yeah, this level is just being extra greedy. So like you really have to find that balance between what becomes worth it. So then we start measuring RA off of this level. Like you've got a 2% spread to the actual daily, which is fine. And you've got a 10% spread to this daily. Trends can deep dive. Where can it deep dive to? Down here. If you go any further though, the risk is that you hit this, then you kind of come here and then you go down and then you're just, as time goes, you will eventually close that day. Going to be a huge bigger dump. So I think at this moment you're really looking to probably play this level pretty honest. I'm just updating our charts here. So 15 here, 15 here. That's going to be critically important. Because we lost a 15, locally, can we offset to an hourly? Well, we can, but we have to find an hourly to offset to. So there might be a deep dive to an hourly level. Which is this for? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's too deep. I like actually just playing where my white line is because it just, yep. I like playing right here. 65, 730. Also gonna mark this here. I feel like there's a pretty good chance we literally hit this daily supported by the 15, create some kind of combo architecture, support the move. And see, this is why we got out of that one. And you like this doesn't, you're going to be constantly faced with this. Not worth it. Rejectionist target on the 15. This thing looks like it's going to straight dump soon. Like last chance to get into your reports would be here. But I don't know if it's worth it to take that kind of risk when a move is trying to hold the target that offsets it for 2%. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Pretty decent. 2%. So now we can make a decision if we want to enter here. Problem is you've got this now. It's too bad. Now it's here. I think the move is too low to enter this as rejection as target because it's too low to support the move. I think you're just going to straight dump here. Got something like this, and then if you come back up here, you're holding trend, and now you've got like a 3-minute trend to deal with, or whatever trend this ends up being. It could just be a 1 minute. Got a 1-minute trend to deal with now. It's kind of a pain. You don't have this 3-minute trend formed yet, so you can't use it. Okay, let's see. Or what are we going to do? We're going to hold the trend, or are we going to break the trend? I don't even think you're going to have a 5 or anything here. Oh, you actually could have a 5. Can't have a 15. That 15-minute is scary. Creating that 15-minute trend is pretty scary. Yeah, see, like you don't even have this trend yet. It's not formed yet. So best case scenario, you're trying to form a 5. So 15, and this is the 5. You can enter this trend in 2 minutes if it doesn't break the move down. So if this trend holds and creates, you can enter in 2 minutes. And 2 minutes from now, you're going to be looking at your 15 is still there. possible 5 to gain off trend is here. So if you don't gain this, trend creates, it's an RIP. If this trend can just constantly hold, like you could take a chance and enter trend here. I don't know if I would. It's really close to dumping, but you could try to enter trend. I think maybe what I'd like to see first is, I don't think there's anything I'd like to see first. I think you just have to decide if you want to hold trend here, because if that 5-minute creates and is getting that 5-minute level, then you've got, how much time do you have on this 15? You have a minute on the 15. So the 15 will be there. So it will have created a target for itself to gain. If this trend holds, you're gonna boost this move. 50-50 on this trend. People can enter it if they want. Like, it's up to them. I don't tell people where to take trades. I just do the TA, talk about it. But there's the trend here is not bad. If it hits and holds the move, you're targeting something up top. So it's not bad. It's not bad. You've got 1 minute for this thing here. So it's actually not a bad entry here on trend. It's not bad. So if people did enter that, like it's actually a decent trade. Because this is like literally what's it's creating a target in 1 minute, so that's fine. It's a pretty decent trade. The second you start closing under a white candle here, though, I'd be up. Okay, so like assumingly, hopefully some people have taken this, but again, my trigger for this is if we're below this, I'm out. Like I'm not trying to close below an accumulation candle, create a rejection as a target is 1 minute hold level, and then you just dump straight down. Like if you're in and you're staying above this, you're good. And you also have to get above this in order to stay in the trade. If you hit this and pull back, you're out. If you start going below this, you're out. So you got a very slim criteria here. You've got, assumingly you went here, you got this to gain. If it doesn't happen, you're out. You've got this to lose. If you start going below these, I'm out. Yeah. If you close below that, I'd just be out. You wouldn't be out yet, but you have to close below that. Because you are also creating targets here. Like you do have a 15-minute target there, which is pretty big. Gain this 5-minute would be next. And you're just adapting this the whole way through. Like get below this and start closing below it, you're out. That's good. Close this in blue. That's really good. You have a 1-minute level to gain above your entry. That's really good. You want it to meander here just a little bit below this. You don't want to create targets that are easy to gain down here. Unless, of course, you go straight above the 5 here. But and we have a 15-minute trend that can be formed. Not going to have anything. Oh, actually, you will make an hourly trend. That's good. Oh, like, no, you won't, because you're going to get above it. 15 is rejection there. So let's measure that. Let's see where that would have been as 50%. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. I mean, you got to get over this target, and assumingly there's going to be a backside somewhere here to test on. Yeah, you've got a backside up there. You have a 3. You do. You have this as a 5-minute target here. So this is kind of your trigger out of the trade. It's not there yet, but it will turn into. Eesh. Scary. You're sitting here like, okay, maybe I should exit. Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't able to gain the 5, so you start closing under this, I'd exit. I'd exit this trade probably if you get a little lower. Like I'd set probably a stop or something right here. Stop loss that right there. Or just like an exit criteria set there. Yeah, I would be out of the trade. Be in this anymore. So even if you were, and then that's the point of constantly engineering correct trades to try to gain targets and always exiting with either in a few percent up or down. But like the point, like this is just too risky at this point. Regardless of this test and you back in the trade, these things, they just dump so fast that the profits don't become worth the risk. 50% to possibly dump the move down to your next target, it's not worth it. You're really not gaining any criteria that you need. 3 there, 5 here. And even if it goes up, it's more about mitigating risk here than it is about, if everything was a true 1-to-1 game with 0 fees, then these trades become a different story. But right now, with the way the industry is, fees and liquidation rates, you got to really, really focus on that reduction of risk. This isn't even. You can just delete this 3 minute. There's no cause for a 3 minute level here. You've got the 5 there, which is going to hold it. The 3 actually would even be slightly lower, which just isn't really what I'm looking for. I just think this thing's about to dump if it loses the final line. Rejection as a target, 1 minute level. You've already tested the 5. Likely you've tested this 3 as well. If you look, it's probably a test of the 5. Test down to the 3, loses the 1. For example, like this. 3, 5, 1, right? Test the 5, test the 3, loses the 1, closes, dumps the move. Like you've got a backside 1 here, so like polarity local before you lose the dump, but not I don't really know what you're engineering off this other than just have it on your screen. So fine, it's a 5-minute level, but like hit your 5, you've hit your 3, hitting your 3 again, like it doesn't really do anything. Right? It's just a 1 minute, and if you can't gain this, you're just kind of ripped. And you still have the whole thing offsetting. Oopsie. Cap just sign in. Misclick. You've got your 15-minute preset from back here, but like, look, now all this stuff that you're happening below this level, and you're hard close at 15, like it's just too risky here for the amount of profits that you can take. I just now shift my focus to down here. Wait patiently. Nice little break.
I've got a very clean little short there on Enki while you're talking. It's nice.
Well, like I really like shorts on this trade, but like this was, I guess, the only one, and it happened so quick, right? That 15-minute catch happens here, just go straight up 60%, and then, I do think shorts are good here, but I want a short from a target above. But now these targets above don't make sense anymore because now you've actually started to form architecture here. So now you've got 15-minute levels, you've got possibly an hourly forming. If you start to go up there, now you're going to be targeting an hour. Like this trade is just a write-off at this point. Like I said, you took your stab at it, tried to have it work out, didn't work out. The trade's a write-off. How's everybody in exclusive enjoying this so far? Hopefully it's not too much. I'm doing my best to kind of fill in a few small gaps on the learning where people would be like, okay, well, what do you mean when you say this? I'm doing my best to, fill those gaps. But, also in respect to mentorship, here's time, because we're not going to go and, redo things. So. There's going to be so much information in these sessions that everybody would just be like, whoa, Okay, so we need to kind of start thinking about, what did this hit? Did it make a range trend? Did it hit something? Is there a reverse it hit? Reverse 15, don't buy it. Not what it is. Hourly range trend, potentially, very, very lightly going to say potentially hourly range. Could it be? Yes. This range and the depths of it already being tested. Could this turn into a range trend if you gain this? 15-minute there, hourly there. Yeah, but then you would just pull back here, break your trend, and lose the move anyways. So now there's a case to say, let's just double check, make sure there's no 4. There shouldn't be though. Now there's a case to say that you can actually test this trend again here for 2.4. That's not bad. Or here for 1.6. That's actually starting to make sense now that if you're creating a range trend, you broke that. Yep, start with the 15. Entry possibly on the reverse. Because now you've got an hourly that can ladder. Nope, you might not have this as an hourly. Let's see how high it goes. This might not even be the hourly. You actually might have the hourly right here on the range. We got to see. We got to see. Either way, it's the trade's like you're not in this anyways. It's already gone. There's no entry there that makes sense. So you'll never have a 15-minute range trend, but you can always have a 5 here. Okay, so that's good to know. We have a 5, we have an hourly, so now we need to gain 15 somewhere. which is still up here. Not worth it. Rejection as target potential 15. 3 minute we don't need. Range trend to get back down to the 15. So you break this in the future, reverse this 15, possibly, maybe, we'll see. You still have 6 minutes. That's a lifetime. Don't have any expectations yet. I still like this. Possibly a bit higher than two. I'm gonna wait to see what develops down here before I decide what my targets are on top. There's no point in deciding targets yet when you don't know what architecture you have on the bottom yet. 15 is good though. I still like this as a target. Assumingly, you can also reverse something here afterwards if you do go past it. 3, could be a 1 right here somewhere. No, it's a 3. Well, that's fine too. 5. The 5 up there. That's actually an okay target here as a 5. Is the 15, the greediest 15 in the range. I think that's what we start thinking about, the greediest 15 in the range that rejects the higher target. So that's the hourly. So that can hit the hourly and that can reject it. There's a 15 here, which also can be 2 hourlies. But this won't be that yet. So it can't be possible yet. So actually, if you go here, you're going to this backside here or some type of clarity. Clarity there. Hit that. Range trend. Oh, there's no range trend. So that's not it either. Not this. Breaking out of this 15. Target the hourly, it's too high. What's the max 15 you can target is this 5 without, but it hits an hourly. But it's an hourly backside, so it's still part of that range. So actually, it just kind of disables that target. So maybe you take the hourly here, but if you hit this 5, you can deep dive it. There's no targets to deep other than this, but that's not going to happen because there's no range trend. Very straight. 1 minute level. I think you just front run this hourly, to be honest. I think your trade literally sits like right here. I think you just front run it in case you don't hit target. 1.5. That's a good trade. 15 rejection as target. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it off a 1 minute hold. You do this right here. I think there's a decent cause for this. It protects the range from going up. I think there's a decent. I think like 15 is target. Like this is a one shot trade. Like you are entering. I think you enter here. I think you literally enter like right here. Because you don't want to gain this level, but you can go past it enough, and you don't want to play this 1 minute because you've already gotten too close to it. That would have been fine if you had if this had gone a little higher, like if this had just wicked through it, fine. That was a fine trade to enter, but now it's not right now. It's not. If you're going to see 15 reject as a target to break this move down, it can go as high as this, which ladders the move off of this, which is also fine. Okay, now we sit and wait. We sit and we wait. If you go above this and start closing, you just exit. Like when it touches back, you just exit there before it moves up because it'll break. It'll back test it to see if it can hold and it moves up. So if you go over top of this wick right here, right, and your entry is here, you just go over that and you just take your exit right where you entered before it rips up. So let's see. This one I would take too. Took the first one down here, didn't work out, break even out, and then now it's time for this one here. It's 15 minutes holding it though, which you don't want to see. You don't want to see this 15-minute constantly hold it because a 15-minute rejection is target. It kind of invalidates all of this. You need this to just go up in the next minute or two. You can't be testing this, pulling back, and then opening a new candle over top of it. This is, and in the next 2 minutes, if this happens, you take it. If not, you don't bother. It has to kind of happen now though. Oh, you've got 2 minutes. That's what I'll say. You need to move up now and then fall back and lose that rejection as target. I'd also probably get out of this trade if we start closing somewhere between these two levels, because then you're just this, you start screwing around here in the range. This holds you up 15-minute, and then you're just gonna wrap. So like I would just be very careful. This like last little push up is your entry. That's it. That's your entry. Okay, I'm gonna get a water. I'm gonna take a few minutes here while this thing, because I feel like there's nothing left to do for a few minutes, and gives people a good chance to discuss. And then I'm gonna get a water. Okay, well hold on a second. Maybe we'll just wait 1 second here. Might be doing a little last minute dance here, Michael Jordan style. Hey, what are you doing, Bitcoin? Now you are rejection target here. You lose this, this goes out. You either hit this now or lose this, and that will invalidate either side. So now you have a very specific criteria. There's nothing left in this trade. You at this point, your 1 minute entry, it has hit right here, and you'd be in this waiting. So you are either you have not hit your target yet, or you've hit it and you've lost this. But there is not a lot left here. You've got I think about 30 seconds to get up. What do you got? 29 seconds here. Yeah, you really need to hit this and then just lose that whole trade. But it looks like it's going to do that off the 1 minute if it's going to do it here, because it's not. We can go for one attempt on this. If we don't, yeah, it's already hit the level though. That's the problem here. Becoming less and less. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're fine. You can still one more. And on the way up, by the way, if you hit this and hold it, every short is dead. Just get out. If for some reason you're in something. So like what looks like we analyze target as here actually might have executed here. So all of these shorts invalidate the second you hit this and pull up. You can also long this here. I don't know if I like the long on this because it's still rejecting the 15. Technically, it tried to gain that and rejected it. But there is case for long here. If you wanted to long, this is where you would do it. If you were saying like, oh, we're moving up now, like this is the oh, can you still enter here? That's the question. You haven't hit your 5 yet, so 15. It just looks not good. I don't know. I think I would get this one out. I think you have to take your own decision on this one, but I think this 67, 153, I personally wouldn't at this point. But can it? The only thing that I still like about this is you haven't hit your 5 minute down here. So you've gained a 15, hold the 5, and then well, you haven't actually even gained the 15 yet, technically. So you have to close. Well, actually you did. You closed above it on that 1 minute candle. I forgot. So the only thing is a 5 minute has to hold now, and you're kind of good. You're chilling. So, and if this one loses, like you've got this down here, there's not a big spread between that though. It just means that you could possibly consider entry down here, which I had marked as a 15 as rejection as target. So yeah, this makes sense as an entry. This fits all criteria. And by the time you get down there, no, you'll never be. You'd have to be way out there. No, that's the hourly doesn't matter here. 50-50 on this short still. I let people make that decision for themselves. Although I don't make decisions for people anyways. I don't say get in here, get out there. I never do that. It's just me talking through as if I was trading it. And sometimes I actually do take a lot of these trades on. But I'm just focusing on teaching today because we got a bit of a larger audience. So there's that test. Let's see what happens. You can see a little stall out here because it is going to say like, okay, well, you know, this is polarity on your move. Like this is 15 attacking a 15. So now you're, you know, range zoned right here from 15 to 15. So like if you gain this, like if you were in this trade, remember what I said, if you were in this trade and you get above it, you have to get out on the touch. I don't want to hear any, and you know, unless you stay below this ladder point. So like if you were to go like this, you can wait, but then as soon as you get over its ladder point, like this ladder point connected to this ladder point, second you get over that, you may not get a chance to get out, and you have to just kind of swallow your losses. So, well, let's see what happens. Now I'm gonna go make my coffee because I think we got a few minutes here to decide anyway. Left some pretty clear instructions of what I would do. So okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna zoom my chart out of it here just in case we get a little spicy. Coffee takes me 5 or 6 minutes because I have to make it. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hey, hash brown ready for me. On top of there being a hash brown ready, coffee. Yeah, so like if you're in this trade, you've gotta like really just get out and swallow your losses there. So that's a constant tone. Like even right now, if you were sitting here, I would just be like taking the 5% loss. This is the but like really, that's what I was saying about this trade is that there's kind of a point where it's too late now. Um, and it's a constant tone of what we do as day traders in mentorship at the higher levels and the lower levels is religiously looking to take high quality positions that are thought out of logic flow wise and for reasons that make sense on our chart, logic flow reasons, and to just expose yourself to as many trades as possible where you create scenarios where something can happen, right? Like you saw, I wanted to reject this and then lose that 15-minute bounce between here. If this hit, it goes up and do this. And I'm constantly adapting every single part of my charts. Every few minutes, my brain's always on 100. If there's a new 5-minute level created, the whole chart changes. 15-minute rejection is target possibility. Now my expectations of where I'm entering changes. I changed my mind probably solid 6 or 7 times in this trade. Ended up taking one trade down here, didn't engineer out as I expected, got out break even, and then here deciding that this didn't make sense. And if I was in this trade, I would be scared to be in this trade. I would be like, okay, I got to get out here. Rejection as target is the only thing I can do. Maybe I might even just like move it up a little bit in case it ladders off of that. And I would just be like, just trying to limit losses if I was in this. But at the same time, there's a reason why I didn't take this because, you start creating these 15-minute levels here and you start closing above and it just becomes this kind of this scary thing where you've gained this 15, you're targeting this 15. Even if this fails, it can go to this 15 hold. It can go to this 5 and hold. And there's too many scenarios where you're just not really able to see this thing dump. So there doesn't really become a reason to take this level. And why I said I don't think it makes sense anymore, especially when you see this, it reaches for its 5-minute target, misses it, closes back above the 15. Now you're really just kind of up here looking for the larger rejection. And had you sniped that down there, our first entry, had it held, That's what we would have been going for, but it didn't hold. It almost dumped. So we got out break even. And who cares? Like that's the point of trading at a higher level. Who cares how many times you take a trade? You do your best to engineer these trades and you expose yourself to as many trades as possible. And then, if out of 10 trades, you're able to get out break even or -2 or 3%, or out of 5 trades, even if one of them works out, you're somewhere between -5% and 10% and plus 100 to 200%, which is, this is what we strive for in mentorship, is constant entries that are hyper controlled, that have very tight criterias and follow the logic flow exactly as we want it to see. And then it just becomes an easy game of numbers about, sitting here and making sure you're marking everything properly, and you're constantly exposing yourself to high quality positions where you are 100% okay to get out when it goes here. Like I was 100% okay to get out here, and look, this ended up being the bottom, despite a little tiny like wick down here. But also that 12%, like go down 12%. Now you're up a full 100%. Like, yes, okay, fine. We entered here, we got out, but it didn't pan out the way we wanted, and that's okay. Doesn't really matter. We're gonna do the same thing here. I don't believe we're gonna do the same thing here at this level, but we are gonna do the same thing at that level. So, yep, this is always the tone of trying to engineer trades, is to just constantly expose yourself to positions that make sense logic flow wise, so that when your criteria is enter, like we knew as soon as we gained this 15, we'd be moving up. So that was a good example of like our criteria filling. We knew that as soon as we went and didn't target this 5, like rejection is target, you have a 15 here, a 5 here. So you are either hitting, there's 3 scenarios, right? The scenario 1 is you front run it. Of course, you never hit it. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, and it moves up there. Scenario 2 is you hit this and you move up. That's both of these scenarios are moving up. The only scenario that's moving down is you entered here and then it goes like this and it doesn't hold that 5 and it kind of does this and, sinks down, right? So you're looking to enter here and take this scenario here, but none of that happens. And that's why we changed our mind so quickly, because the entry of this trade here, if you just think back to when we were talking about it, one of our criteria is hit. That criteria was dump, ladder that. So all of a sudden it invalidates this trade here. You just don't even bother, because that's already past the criteria that would have dumped it anyway.